Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. In this presentation, we will discuss about external sources of attraction, the effects of proximity and physical beauty. Before we start, let me introduce myself and my friends. First, Atta Arik Murfid. Second, Joshua Niko Halim. Third, Laurentinus Fernando Christian. And fourth, Lutfia Zulfa. 5. Monique Herdin. 6. Christian Anda. And 7. Vita Nuraliva.
Hello, what do you think about the first picture? Proximity. What do you think about proximity? Proximity is an attractive research, the physical closeness between two individuals with respect to where they live, where they sit in classroom, where they work, and so on. The smaller the physical distance, the greater the probability that the two people will come to repeat contacts, experiencing repeat exposure to one another, positive effect, and the development of mutual attraction. Proximity, in my opinion, is when we are with someone, for example, a friend. We meet, play, it makes our physical distance narrower, and maybe we start to realize that we often have many things in common that we don't realize. For example, I have one bestie. We are very close, often meet, play, and share story. Sometimes our clothes cause unplanned similarities, namely the color of clothes. Suddenly, when we meet, our clothes are the same color and doesn't have just one. Maybe it's factor because we are too close. Repeat exposure effect. Jason feeling that frequent contact with any middle negative, neutral, or positive stimulus result in an interesting positive evaluation of the stimulus. Okay, for example, a very clear demonstration of such effect is provided by a study conducted in a classroom setting. Moreland and Beach, 1992. In a college course, and female assistant attended class 15 times, 15 times during the semester. A second assistant attended class 10 times, a third attended 5 times, and fourth did not attend class at all. None of the assistants interacted with the other class members at the end of the semester. The students were shown slides of the four assistants and were asked to indicate how much they liked which one, as shown in figure 7.4. The more times a particular assistant attended class, the more she liked in this and many other experiments. Repeat exposure was found to have a positive effect on attraction.
Interpersonal attraction. In this paragraph, it is explained the fact that sometimes just seeing someone for the first time can be the basis for powerful feeling of attraction toward that person. It is all too clear that others' physical appearance does have a strong effect on us. So, how strong are these effects? And do we believe that attractive people possess many desirable characteristics aside from the physical beauty? These are the questions we now examine. Interpersonal attraction is the attitude of a person's interest in other people through a long assessment containing perspective between very like to very dislike. Interpersonal, in my opinion, is the attitude when we are attracted to other people after evaluating from various point of view, so that during the process of interaction that occurs between us and other people, then a positive impression appears on that person. A positive evaluation is a response to interpersonal attraction. Example of interpersonal attraction: self-disclosure. When we have someone we trust to tell us about something that we can reveal to everyone. For example, personal information or personal problems. It indicates that we have an interpersonal attraction in that person, so we can trust that person.
The what is beautiful is good effect. We have already noted that attractive people are viewed as possessing desirable characteristics such as intelligence, good health, kindness, and generosity, to a greater extent than less attractive people. Certainly, it makes good sense if we do possess a favorable stereotype for physically attractive people. Then, as is true with all stereotypes, this cognitive framework strongly shapes our perception of the others and our thinking about them. It was predicted that attractive people would be viewed as higher in affiliation, motive, and thus lower in attractiveness, and would also be rated more favorable in terms of various interpersonal traits, which means that in psychology, someone may have a stereotype that thinks handsome and beautiful people have more advantage than other people.
Attractiveness describes how appealing or pleasing a person's physical features and aesthetic beauty are. Attractiveness stereotype is the tendency to perceive physically attractive people as intelligent, talented, confident, well-liked, and honest. As a result, good-looking individuals have more persuasive power than individuals of average or below average looks. This passage discusses about attractiveness, which associated with the previous passage regarding the what is beautiful is good effect. It explains that the effect isn't always accurate. Why? Because in my opinion, attractiveness is someone who has something on themselves, and it's not only about physical appearance, but also can come from their character and personality that can attract people. For example, some people might have a pretty face and handsome face, and some people are kind-hearted, generous, and friendly.
Types of attractiveness. You might reasonably guess that a face created by averaging would be rated as average in attractiveness. Instead, composite faces are rated as more attractive than most of individual faces used to make the composite. As shown at the picture, when you combine as many as 32 faces, we end up with a face that is pretty darn attractive. The face presented in ads and on billboards are not nearly as attractive in reality as they appear when advertisers get through enhancing them.
Okay, before I explain the psychology vocabularies from reading passage, I want to give you guys information of the passage that I choose. That is, red is so sexy and attractive. In fact, in many ancient cultures, as well as many modern annals, the color red has been associated with increased attractiveness, at least for women. These observations have led social psychologists to suggest that perhaps the color red does have special significance and can increase women's attractiveness to men. In a sense, their beauty is generated not only by the face or body or physical, but can with the color. Example is red. Does the color red enhance women's physical attractiveness? Many cultures, both ancient and modern, accept the view that red on the lips and the face, and perhaps in clothing too, can enhance women's physical appeal. Recent research by social psychologists suggests that there may be a sizable grain of truth in this belief. Next, I will explain the psychology vocabularies from reading passage. First, cognition. Cognition in Indonesian means kognisi, and in psychology it means the activity or process of acquiring knowledge, including awareness, feeling, or of recognizing something through one's own experience. And vocab second, perception. Perception in Indonesian means persepsi, And in psychology, it means a process of acknowledge, possess, store in memory, to detect or obtain in interpret stimulation retrieved by sense organ such as eyes, ears, and nose. One example of a form of perception, that is feeling of fear. Affections can be an example of a form of perception. And last, peripheral. Peripheral in Indonesia means tidak penting, and in psychology it means someone who doesn't think cognitively to evaluate and process something. For example, someone who buys skincare after seeing an advertisement for the shop starting a beautiful model.
Interpersonal attraction. Interpersonal attraction is traditionally defined in social psychology as a positive attitude or evaluation regarding a particular person, including the three components conventionally ascribed to attitudes, such as behavioral or tendency to approach the person, cognitive or positive beliefs about the person, and affective or positive feelings for the person. In my opinion, interpersonal attraction is a positive beliefs and feelings about another person that leads to friendship, platonic, or a romantic relationship.